He turned $12,000 into over $5 million, and he's back on our show today. Tim Sykes, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Now you're sharing your gift of trading secrets with millions around the world. You're opening schools. You're changing the world one person at a time.
Yes.
How does it feel?
Feels amazing. You know, we were just talking about this before, like doing what you love.
Yeah.
Although I am doing it for the money too. So
now I know you were on.
You said don't do it for the money. I'm doing it for the money and doing what I love.
Well, because I think if you're good at what you do, the money will come, but don't get into it.
You know, so I hear this thing like where like you do good work and people eventually find you. I just don't believe that.
You don't believe in putting it out there in the universe. And
I think putting it out there and then cramming it down people's throats and letting them know that is good. Otherwise, they don't see you.
How did you? Okay.
There's so much noise on social media. How do they know if it's good? How are they going to find you?
Okay, like say if I asked you 10 years ago if this is what you wanted your life to be, did you know this is what you wanted to do, that you wanted to be a trader, a master trader, or did you just fall into it?
I mean, I'm Jewish, so I'm naturally greedy. It's in my genes. But at the same time, I didn't know I was going to be a teacher. 10 years ago, I started teaching, and that was just because my TV show Wall Street Warriors was a hit. And people started emailing me, asking me questions. And at the time, I was just managing rich people's money. Like, they sucked, you know, like it was boring, it was unfulfilling. It was nice, but it was unfulfilling. Teaching has given me like a new level of, you know.
Doing what you love.
Just doing what I love, but also just like having a meaningful life. Like, it doesn't even matter what you love. Like, can you help other people? That's what I'm about.
So for people who have been living under a rock and don't know Tim Sykes' story, in a nutshell, tell us how you turned $12,000 into millions. Obviously not overnight.
No, definitely not.
What? How many years?
20 years.
Oh, 20 years. Wait a second.
Yeah. So it doesn't even average out that well.
Okay.
So I trade with a small account now in order to teach. I donate all my trading profits to charity. So understand, like the 12,000 into 5 million sounds nice. Probably could have been like 20, maybe 30 million if I was just focusing on trading with a big account. But I'd rather trade with a small account. I go back to 12 grand every year. So this year I'm up from 12 grand to $16,000.
So how old were you when you started? You were like 10?
18.
18.
Yeah. But thank you for that.
Yeah, so you took this was
I had
it
the
a risk
maturity
to you
level
at the
of a
time?
10-year-old.
Were you like, oh my God, I can't just blow all this $12,000?
My parents gave me control of it. They thought that I would blow it up. But I, use the internet. That's the beautiful thing here, where most people don't realize they can learn everything online.
So you're focused on penny stocks, though, right? And I remember when we spoke in January, you were saying there were no sectors you thought were hot at the time.
Correct.
Have you changed your mind since then?
No, but I also underestimated the market. The overall market has been on fire in 2019. I totally missed that. I was in protection mode after, November and December. I've been in protection mode for 6 months. So I protected my people from the big drop, but then, I missed out on this big run.
So how have you re-strategized?
I haven't. Just because I'm wrong, it doesn't make me want to chase, because then it's kind of like a vengeance trade. So for me, I've been sitting on the sidelines, playing it very safe. Like weird stocks have been popping up. I've been trading shrimp stocks, salmon stocks. I don't know. I eat a lot of shrimp and salmon, but now like what I eat is coming into like my trading world.
How do you decide that or choose that? Or do people call you up and say, hey, Tim, I think you should be following this? Or
I get tons of tips. For me, it's the market. Like whatever is a big percent gainer. Like when I say the shrimp stock, it's kind of laughable, but there's a way to make environmentally friendly shrimp.
So you're investing in companies that are doing this?
Yeah, when they get approval. So shrimp, SHMP is the ticker, went from 2 cents to basically $1. So it was up like 50 times in about a month, which is insane. I took small profits along the way. I don't, go for the 50 times. I don't go for the home runs. I take singles. And that's what I've been doing for 20 years. My average trading profit is just $2,000.
I want to go over some trading strategies with you, but first, you're in New York. Welcome to New York. Welcome to Wall Street.
It's freezing.
It is freezing.
Wearing my jacket
I
everywhere.
see that. I was going to say, make yourself at home. Take it off.
There's no home here. There's home in tropical places.
You rang the bell, right?
I did. I rang the bell.
So tell us a little bit about the company you're involved with.
Yeah. So that's Stocks to Trade. That's software that actually one of my students developed based on my strategies. He's like, Tim, I love your lessons, but you're so disorganized. Let me organize it into a computer. And I was like, all right, let's try. So now it automates my whole trading process. It has 40 plus scans, news, charts, everything that I've basically taught him, and he put it into a computer program. It'll probably destroy the world in like 10 to 20 years, but for now you can use it to make money.
So wait, it takes the thinking out of picking stocks?
Correct. So it has Oracle Artificial Intelligence, and he just took literally all my lessons. He's one of my top students, and he put it all into a computer.
Okay, so let's go over some trading strategies. What does Tim Sykes love, and
why are you saying me like my third person?
I don't know, because that's for dramatic purposes.
I feel like I'm like an NFL player. Like, what does Odell Beckham really think?
I just thought it would add some drama here. So,
what do you think about the Odell Beckham trade? This just
You know,
broke.
I was surprised.
I'm a
I
lifelong
was-
Giants fan, and they keep finding new ways to disappoint me. Like they keep
Yeah.
taking the fun out of football.
I'm forced to be a Jets fan now.
No, come on. We
Yeah, I
don't
can't
sink that
even
low.
talk.
We don't
I can't
sink that
even. I
low.
can't even talk
But
about
I'm
it.
like
But-
Odell Beckham. If I was Odell Beckham, you could refer to me in the third person. I think he's earned it. I haven't earned the third person.
All right. Well, Tim. Okay.
Thank you.
Taking quick profits or scalping. Love or dis?
Well, no. So scalping, like you're trying to make like a penny or two, like it can add up, but it's very dangerous because you go for these small gains, but then one time like you're just scalping, you're trying to make a small amount, and then you lose like 2 weeks of scalping profits. I've done that before. In the past, I've tried this. So I like to go for bigger moves. Like I like to have more patience rather than scalp.
Using leverage.
No leverage.
No leverage.
No
Okay.
leverage
Swing
whatsoever.
trading.
It's tough. After a 10-year bull market, I just don't trust the overall markets. I just think that we're like on the verge of some big crash or something, but I'm just, overly cautious.
Trading only a few stocks you know.
Ideal. You don't need to be a mutual fund or hedge fund. Most people don't have millions or billions of dollars, so you don't need to be like 70% long, 30% short. Like I have 1 or 2 stocks at any one time. I trade like a sniper.
So trade what you know, not necessarily what you love.
Trade patterns that you learn to know over time and that you learn to love. It's not about like what you know, like Peter Lynch strategy, like focus on brands that you love. Like that was 1990s. That doesn't work well anymore. Can Slim, William O'Neill, that doesn't work anymore. A lot of the old strategies that worked in the past don't work right now. So find strategies that work for you. And we're all different. Some people like short selling. Some people like going long. 1 day, 1 hour, 1 week, whatever works for you.
Trading more than 5 times a day. Thoughts on that?
I mean, if you're a degenerate gambler, like try it. Embrace what you love,
All
but
right.
just be careful and seek a therapy ASAP.
Okay, outside of trading, you've been using your money for good. You're opening schools. When I saw you in January, you opened a school in Bangkok. Now you're leaving tomorrow for Guatemala.
Correct.
Tell us about what you're doing.
Yeah, so education around the world is severely lacking. You could say that a lot of the world's problems are caused by poverty, a lot of the world's violence and disease. So we're trying to fix that. We have 52 schools with my charity so far. My goal is to build 1,000 schools.
Wow. Well, welcome to New York. I hope you enjoy your time here, Tim.
I won't.
I always.
It's freezing.
What? Wait, you're from New York originally?
From
Why are
Connecticut.
you- Oh,
I lived in New York for a little. I did my time. I did
Okay,
my
you're out.
hard labor.
yeah.
It's just not fun here. Like we have to recognize that. Look at where everyone is sitting, like in these little
And
desks.
so you don't feel you need to be in the heart of the economic capital of the world.
I try to avoid the heart of the economic world. There's too much blood pumping. There's
Yeah, 'cause
clogged
you're
arteries.
doing all your work. You always
I
say
just
you
took me
take your laptop.
Just took me 40 minutes to get here. There's clogged arteries. This city is about to have a heart attack, if you want to use that analogy. Like, get out. The world is beautiful. The internet works anywhere. You don't need to be here.
Okay, top 3 places for you in the world.
Japan, because I love sushi, the people, the culture, the history. South Africa for adventure and the people. Greece, Italy, Portugal, Spain, just because
Yeah, and
that's
you're
just
traveling,
life.
like, how often are you on a plane throughout the year? Like every...
So I just did my travel schedule for the next 2 months. I got 19 cities in 2 months. So that's on average.
Do you plan to slow down anytime soon?
No.
Like
I
5
want to
years,
speed
10?
up. Hopefully, cloning is banned by the UN right now, and
But
their
you'd want
infinite
a
wisdom.
junior Tim Sykes?
I have a feeling that China, some companies out there, I don't know if anybody watching this is in China involved in this. I feel like there's cloning startups, but the first few clones are going to be messed up. They're going to be unethical. They're going to screw up. So in 30 years, hopefully when I need it, when my liver is failing, then I can have a clone.
You would want another
Yeah.
Tim.
Oh, it'd be
Now I have to use
why
your
just
last
one?
name.
Why just one? Have you seen Multiplicity with Michael Keaton?
No,
that got a little crazy.
I did not.
He has problems. He has too many clones.
Okay, well, where does Tim...
I'll take a few clones
Where
or
do you,
students.
Where do you want to be 10 years from now?
I just want more students and more schools and more adventures. With Stocks to Trade, it was created by one of my students who took my lessons and combined that with his, talent for programming. That's the beautiful thing. I don't need to actually clone myself. I'm kidding about that. I'm kidding. Don't worry,
Wink, wink.
I'm kidding, UN.
But-
But I'm seriously, if you teach, this is why I love education. If you teach what you know, you basically create clones, knowledge clones.
Right. But what drives you now? Because obviously you have enough money
Yeah.
that you can pass on to your grandkids one day. So it's not the wealth, obviously,
No.
right?
You don't need more than a few $1 million in your life. It's crazy. I live very well with just a few million. I donate a few million to charity. So it's a good balance. If I ever make $1 billion, I'll donate 980 million. I think that it's just curiosity and adventure. Like, I don't know what's going to happen in Guatemala. There's volcanoes, as we were talking about. Hopefully one doesn't get me, but if it does, I'll film it.
You have this fear of volcanoes. It's come up in our conversation.
Lava's kind of scary. I don't know if you've seen the movie Volcano, Tommy Lee Jones, the one that erupts in LA. I used to watch a lot of movies before social media. I have to try not to trade, okay? You have to understand, I'm one of those degenerate gamblers, and I try to find ways not to trade. So by traveling to third world countries, bad internet.
Because you think you're just overly addicted to trading?
I'm endlessly fascinated by different stocks and different setups, and I have to control that because most setups, most stocks will just let me down. So I have to focus on my key patterns. Right. I'm like the alcoholic bartender. I'm teaching my degenerate gambler students how not to be degenerate gamblers. Learn from my mistakes.
For all those young folks out there watching us,
yes.
Tim, what's your advice to them?
Stay on YouTube forever. Ignore Fortnite and Netflix.
Do you believe in education? Do you have to go to college? Do you feel that everyone should have a college degree?
Those are two different questions. Do I believe in education and should people go to college? Those are two very different things. Most people equate college to education. They're different. Okay, very different. Warren Buffett is to the whole stock market. College is one piece of education. It's not everything. I don't think you need college at all. Use YouTube, use the internet to change your life. I learned everything online, and it's been fantastic.
I don't think you have children, right, Tim?
I don't.
So if you have a son or daughter one day and they're like, Dad, I don't want to go to college.
Fantastic. College, I think, is one of the worst investments that you can make. With student loan debt and the way that the economy is shaping and the way that education is evolving on the internet, we have more and more applications. By the time I have kids or grandkids, education, I think education is the next frontier. That's the next big investment.
You just reminded me, I have to get in a metal question there. Yeah. You weren't liking the mining stocks.
No.
Have you changed your mind? They're outperforming physical gold.
I said at the mining conference that gold would be unchanged. I just checked gold's price. It is unchanged. Well, how many months ago was this?
Only 3.
If you want to waste time, it's like playing Fortnite, right? You play Fortnite, you do nothing with your life. You invest in gold, you do nothing with your investments. It's very similar, and they're both entertaining. And so it's fun to watch the gold bugs go crazy, and they think every world event is this is it for the gold, and then it never is.
And that's why you got heckled in January.
I did get heckled, but he's also I think he's still on trial for tax evasion.
Yeah, you were so proud of that moment, Tim.
I didn't know who my heckler was, and I bring out the criminals or alleged criminals. I don't know. It's interesting. I want some hecklers here.
Yeah, it's too quiet here. But you know what? I'll take you to Chuck E. Cheese. How's that?
Chuck E. Cheese or Dave & Buster's.
Yes.
Dave & Buster's, we were talking about, has good drinks, and there's some very fine characters at Dave & Buster's.
But I get very competitive at the bowling game.
I'll crush you. I'll take you down.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll have much more for you. Stay tuned.